Hello there, guys. Hope you're doing bloody well. Mikey here. Let's check out the trailer for The Matrix 4. I have specifically not been watching this until this moment. Loved the first Matrix film. Who didn't? It's still iconic right now. Still actually in one of my top 10 films of all time, even today. Second Matrix movie. I really liked seeing Neo fight with weapons. That was a lot of fun. A good scene on a motorway. Third Matrix movie. A few interesting ideas. Bit of a fizzle. As far as I was concerned, everybody was dead. So, yo, let's check out what's going on. I'm very excited.
Thomas? You seem particularly triggered right now. Can you tell me what happened?
I've had dreams that weren't just dreams.
Am I crazy? We don't use that word in here.
Hi.
Have we met?
One pill makes you larger, and one pill makes you small. And the ones that mother gives you don't do anything at all. Go ask Alice when she's 10 feet tall.
Time to fly.
And if you go chasing rabbits,
If you want the truth, Neo, you're going to have to follow me.
and you know you're going to fall.
The only thing that matters to you is still here. I know it's why you're still fighting and why you will never give up. You don't know me. No?
When logic and proportion have fallen, so be dead. And the white knight is talking backwards, and the red queens are overhead. Remember what the Dharma
After all these years, to be going back to where it all started. Back to the Matrix.
Yo. Oh my goodness. Okay. My initial results, my initial reaction. He said the title. Holy shit. He said the name of the film. Oh my god. Yo. Yeah, that was the guy. So, okay. So my first thoughts are obviously, now we're going to go through this and we're going to talk about this. And obviously you guys have had a few days to already ruminate over it. My initial reaction is that this film has only got one of the Wachowski sisters behind it. Maybe the other one did not want to be involved in the project. This looks like it's shot on a bit of a different budget. Now, don't get me wrong. I appreciate that the first Matrix film came out a long time ago. Cinema and cinema production is different today than it was back then. This definitely looks a bit more like a low budget, not low budget, a lower Wachowski. Enter the Matrix. I'm watching you. It looks like it's built on a bit of a lower budget, and it looks like it's shot on a completely different type of camera lens. And also, look at these warm colors. Does anybody remember when they released an edition of The Matrix and it was all green? And then they had to go back and like restore the original color timing. So this, like, this doesn't feel like it's got the same... Now, basically, what I'm trying to get at here is one of the strongest things to the original Matrix movie that really made it the film it is, as far as I'm concerned, is the incredible storyboarding. Every shot, every moment of dialogue all had a very particular focus. This looks much more like a people movie. Yo! Also, he just looks like John Wick. It's very hard to imagine this face as still being Neo. It definitely has a different vibe. This does not have the vibe of The Matrix. However, the reason why I wanted to state that very clearly as a possible complaint is to balance it with the fact that this almost has the vibe of Logan. An old, tired Neo, one more film for his last hurrah. Look at this. I might be completely mistaken, but this looks terrible. What am I looking at? God, this is... Unless this is just a bad moment to capture it. So let's work our way through. Todge says, the problem with the first half looks nice. The office stuff. The other half looks like the same ugly digital slush that mired the sequels. Yo, there's a couple shots of this that remind me of a different director altogether. Todge also says, who cares about The Matrix anymore? Why do this? Very good question. Why? Do you want to know something else? As you know, I despise prequels as a general rule of thumb, because a prequel always shrinks the universe that the movie was set in, and it over fetishizes the casual elements of the original film by making them this whole kind of like lineage by throwing it all into the prequels. Same with like the Dune prequel books, House Harkonnen and House Atreides, where all these kind of slow evolution of things all happen to have kicked off at the same time, just so that they could all fit into one book. I don't like prequels in general. However, I have been a strong arguer for a prequel for The Matrix, simply because the key to the Matrix movies are the iterations. Like, the Matrix films that we saw was like the 6th and or 9th iteration of this whole shit happening. And the Oracle has like a special golden coded person who hangs around with her. And I was always of the impression, wait, who's the guy who hangs around with the Oracle? I think his name's Colin Chu. Seraph. So look at Seraph's code. So just look. Now I know that this is the second movie, but just look at how this is all shot. And Colin Chu's coding is golden. It's not green.
Hello.
Seraph. I hate that I know that. Hello. God knows what this crap is. Look at that. So, as we know, there's always like the one. In every iteration, there has to be like this emergent anomaly of the one. So I always subscribe to the idea, because in this particular series of The Matrix, the one is supposed to love all of humanity and become like kind of enlightened. And what was different about this series of films, or this iteration of The Matrix, was that Neo, instead of becoming generally enlightened like a Buddhist monk, instead focused all of that energy into loving one other person, i.e. Trinity. And that was why it kind of broke the cycle. So I love the idea that each previous generation of the one becomes like a bodyguard for the Oracle in the next generation. So I've always had this weird like pseudo-narrative in my head that Colin Chu, or Seraph, in the previous iteration of reality in The Matrix version 8, that he was the one, and he became like a super enlightened kung fu monk, set off the reset process, had to pick the new generation of people, and then he's left in this version of The Matrix to be code that hangs around with the Oracle. So I always wanted a prequel where there's just another copy of normal reality with more kung fu, nothing to do with Neo or anyone, but still set in all of this business with this guy. Because your Mikey likes kung fu movies. They didn't have sweet sunglasses indoors in the new trailer. I know! Here's a weird thing. Apparently this is not a sequel to Revolutions. Apparently it's ignoring both Reloaded and Revolution, and is a sequel to the original Matrix. God knows what the hell is happening. John Wick as Neo. Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well. Yeah, a lot of horizontal and vertical, but like a lot of so like this is just fun. It's a fun little time filler. But the original Matrix, like cinematography, definitely had a different vibe. This does feel like the very end of the third Matrix movie, though, when they reset a beautiful utopian reality. Seven number, how you doing? Seven number, hey dude. I'm gonna do your thing in a minute. Like I caught you earlier when you were in chat before they deleted it, and yeah, I was actually going to do that today. I forgot to do it, to be fair, so I'll do it after this. Do we need to take notes like last time? No, I'm not going to be angry. This isn't like a conversation like June, but I'm fascinated by the concept, and this is the first time I see that trailer. So let's work through, guys.
Thomas.
Come.
You see,
So this is a thing. Like, I get it. You've got to reflect motifs, but when you do too many films and you run out of extra things to put in, like they did a lot of interesting world building in the Matrix, and quick, have the deja vu cat. What else have we got? I don't know. Should we come up with something original to put in it? No. Only use the things that they had in the first film, because the people will remember that. You've got to be careful doing stuff like that.
seem particularly triggered right now. Can you tell me what happened?
I've had
So I'm hoping that's just for the trailers, because this kind of cuts,
dreams that weren't just dreams.
these kind of edits, angry dream sequence edits. No, we didn't have stuff like that. This looks like, so the reason why I keep saying this feels lower budget is because this genuinely, a lot of these shots feel like they have less physical set and more green screen from the actor. And what I'm getting at is that you can have a film where you've got the actor sitting somewhere in a chair by a table in a sci-fi environment, and then within arm's reach, everything is physically there. Real stand, real desk, real mug, another actor. And then everything beyond that is comped in. And then when you get lower budget productions, what you kind of do is you go, well, look, we can rent a studio cube and we can have the actor, and then we'll just comp everything. Everything will be green screened. Yeah, more CGI assets than the actual setup. Eva, you've got it. And oh my God, don't even get me started on the, what did they use in The Mandalorian? They use a different technology now, don't they? In ILM, they use an LED surround lit studio instead of a green screen environment, where they literally use Unreal Engine 5 to project the set that moves counterfocally to the camera. We'll come back to that. So what I'm getting at is all these kind of flashback vibes. So you've said that it's ignoring the next two Matrix movies, right? And it's only the first one. So is this like a version of reality where Neo took the blue pill? If you take the red pill, Neo, then you'll just see how far down the rabbit hole this goes. If you take the blue pill, you wake up, go back to your job, none of this ever happened. If you take the green pill, it's just like the red pill, but lime flavored. If you take the yellow pill, you'll be able to talk to ghosts. If you take... Anyway, sorry, it's just a webcomic I read. Neo, I have so many pills. Neo, what do you want? Neo, what do you want? Neo, I made the pills. So, the reason why I was laughing when the trailer was running, we'll get to it.
I've had dreams that weren't just dreams.
I love that it's got Keanu. I love that it's got Trinity. I love the idea that this is some kind of narrative where the two of them were always fated to meet, where they were always destined to get together. True love waits. But because Keanu... It's like The Wheel of Time. The Wheel of Time is an excellent book series that I'd recommend to anyone. Because the pattern weaves people together. You can't ignore your fate or your destiny. That Keanu might have taken the blue pill, not gone into the Matrix, and so him and Trinity meet up 30 years later when they're both older, but like he's still the one, and now they have a very different kind of adventure as an older couple, and they have a very different effect on the reality of the Matrix. And that I love the idea that this is more of a Logan kind of movie where everything's older and creakier, and it's more focused on the characters than it is for Kung Fu. Who knows? If you take the purple pill, you become a Twitch live streamer. Guys, help me. I am physically trapped in here. I can't leave this corridor of space. Nothing else exists. It's like the never-ending story. The thing is, I don't actually care enough or feel any desire to know what's going on. Yeah, this is it. This is really weird for me as well. I am absolutely teetering. One part of me also utterly has no desire for another Matrix movie whatsoever. There's been no call for it as far as I'm concerned, other than, you know, let's just remake some stuff from 20 years ago because there's an audience that remembers a brand, and we can remake it for a fraction of the cost. It doesn't have to turn over a huge amount of money compared to the originals, but it will definitely make a profit simply because the name brand is so strong. So I love that Neo's there. I love that Trinity's there. I love that Morpheus is not there, that you've got the guy from the Candyman. Somebody said something along the lines of Morpheus looks like he's been eating butter. Like, ever since, who is it? I think it was, you know what? I think it's Viva Valverde Broadcasting, a YouTube channel, a film review guys. Great guys. And they, one of them said when they were doing a review of Predators with Lawrence Fishburne, and Lawrence Fishburne's been like surviving on the Predators Island for ages. And one of them was just like, what's he been surviving on? Butter? Lawrence Fishburne's getting a bit, anyway. Good on him. So that's why I was laughing, because they've got skinny replacement Lawrence Fishburne. Anyway. We can't save you this time, you're trapped forever. No, Scarlet Witch, no. No. Keanu, we want you to star in another Matrix movie. Oh, Keanu, we need you to play Neo. Do you remember the character Neo? Do you want to cut your hair a little bit? Maybe just trim? Come on, Keanu. Come on, it's another Matrix movie. Come on, I'll let you put your motorbikes in it. You like your motorbikes, don't you, Keanu? So can we because you don't look like a guy who's with the long hippie hair. We need you to be Office Keanu, not...
Dragon sends his regards.
Drexian!
Forever in the box.
Drexian, thank you so much. Thank you. 500 bitties. Ooh, Drexian. So he didn't want to cut his hair. He's grown it like this. He looks like this now. No haircut. If you want Harrison Ford to be in the third Star Wars movie, he's not going to have a haircut. Okay.
Am I crazy? We don't use that word in here.
Fascinating. All of this looks like a really, really good, made using equipment that I could use at home, replica of the stuff from the original Matrix. Here's the original from the 90s. By the way, incredible score. You had you got like Rob Dugan and the other people, the other good people. Brilliant. This looks so much cleaner. This now I'm using this as a comparison. I'm not actually saying it's the same. But this is Ghostbusters remake. Do you know what I mean? That's too clean and too slick. Do you know what I'm saying? That's the Ghostbusters logo from 2016. So this feels like something that I could make using like, and I know we're just talking about the titles, but can you feel the difference? Yo, Crimson Vixen, The Matrix is an incredible film. It's incredible. It's one of my favorites of all time. The Matrix, by the way, okay, here's a really, and I know, sorry, you guys are being really patient. If you like The Matrix, the original Matrix, and you have not recently watched it, Mikey's recommendation, my gift to you, especially the younger generation, watch a film called The Truman Show. If you've not watched The Truman Show recently, watch The Truman Show. That film is a completely different type of film, and at the same time, it has the exact same core message. It is literally The Matrix before they ever made The Matrix, and it's a brilliant piece of media. So I love this. I actually love the idea of old Neo and old Trinity meeting for the first time in an alternative timeline. I actually love that. I do love that.
Have we met?
Yeah, Todge, this is it. It's an emotional shortcut. That's why I'm such on a teeter. I have no interest in The Matrix 4, but the moment I'm watching a trailer for The Matrix 4, I'm remembering my feelings for the original Matrix, and I'm really fucking curious. Even though I know it's just this smaller adventure that won't make a splash.
One pill makes you larger.
See, this all feels like overkill. I don't know why, but this is a completely different energy. I know, look, Mikey, it's only a trailer, but this is such a completely different energy.
And one pill makes you small, and the ones that mother gives you don't do anything.
But I love your work, Mikey. Oh, Eva, thank you.
Go ask Alice.
Yo, is that it's not Mia Khalifa, everybody. Calm down. I know what you internet people are like. Is that the little girl from the second Matrix? Where she's like, Papa, do we go on the train now, Papa? Come, little Sunny. Her job is to make the sunrise. Oh, she makes the sunshine. Yes, Papa says we're going on a train. Papa? Is that little young... Oh my god, is that little young Papa from the Matrix? Papa, Nicole.
When she's 10 feet tall.
And is that supposed to be the train driver? What is this? Who's that? Is that... Wait, what am I looking at? That's just a fever dream. Mate. So, okay, here's another thing that this has just reminded me of. And I'm not hating, I'm just laughing at like my mixed emotions to this trailer. Do you guys remember on YouTube, around about the time that the Star Wars prequels came out, YouTube became absolutely overloaded with homemade lightsaber choreography battles. Everyone was making a lightsaber battle YouTube movie with their friends, and they'd run around in the woods or they'd run around near some rocks in a Jedi outfit so that they could have 1 minute of this build-up plot. Yo, I can't believe the Jedi and the Sith both landed on this planet. Shum. I've just got the feeling from this. This is like Matrix cosplay. We're making a Matrix movie on our YouTube channel. We're putting a lot of effort into it. We're putting a lot of cinematography into it. Here's our Matrix standalone fan. Anyway,
Time to fly.
we've got a guy who's black and he's shaved his head. He's Morpheus. This is Fan Morpheus.
Time to fly.
Been living under a bridge and doing cocaine for 20 years. So this is now they might write this in. I'm sure they're going to write this in so that this actually works. But this is just like I was saying with the cat in the beginning. You can overuse motifs in a way that only tells us you don't have any fresh ideas. So another Follow the White Rabbit actually... Now, it rhymes. It's like poetry. Maybe it's supposed to be an echo of all of the events that happened if Neo had fulfilled the prophecy 20 years ago. And because he didn't, it's all still going to happen. But now it's happening 20 years later. And it's like a stanza. And it's going to fulfill the prophecy in a different but similar manner. Or it's an overuse of motifs. Look at this shot. Look at how blue and orange it is. There isn't a single color palette in the original Matrix that was this color.
If you want the truth, Neo, you're going to have to follow me.
And look at that. Like, look how quick and cheap and ineffective that effect is compared to the original. It feels so made for. It's not made for TV. It's not that bad at all. But that's the direction. Look at that.
The only thing that matters to you.
Does anybody remember a TV show called Time Tracks, where it's like a rip-off of Terminator? Two people from the future get sent back from the past, and he has to track down prisoners.
The only thing that matters to you is still here. I know it's why you're still fighting, and why you will never give up.
You don't know me.
Like, this is the bit where it starts to unravel for me, where I'm just like, oh no.
You don't know me. No?
Time Tracks, yeah. I've got really split feelings. Hiddo, me too, me too. Look at this, look at this. So this is literally this. Just listen to this. That's exactly when they re-released Star Wars. Do you remember when they re-released what was Star Wars Episode 7? And it was literally purely designed to get an emotional feeling. The Force Awakens. What was the first teaser trailer for The Force Awakens? Because I remember it got a genuine feeling out of me that I did not expect. I actually was like, oh my god, I remember feeling good about Star Wars. When that Force Awakens teaser trailer came out, there's a shot of a Millennium Falcon. And it's like, ba, 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 ba. And I was just like, oh, I did used to like that. Ba, ba. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, let's see if we can find this. The Force Awakens teaser. I just want to show you one bit, because it just feels like they're recreating that feeling. 6 years ago.
King Dragon sends his regards.
Yo, Drexian,
Just
you've
gonna
been...
completely derail the conversation, but what's your opinion on Birth of the Reader, Death of the Author? I swear it links to the Matrix.
Drexian, we're going to come back to Drexian. Thank you so much for unloading so many bitties this evening. It's just this bit somewhere. This bit.
And the light.
And you're just like, There's another bit. There's one that's like, ba, ba, ba. Maybe it's further back here. Let's just listen a bit more. Like, this is going to derail the monetization on this video, as long as they don't block it. There's another one where it's like... Anyway, I'm gonna have a quick look through it for you. The audio is well done. Yeah, so this is it. It's the big emotional pull. Official teaser number 2. Maybe it's this one. I just want to see if... there was, like, definitely the... bit. Maybe this?
Chewie. We're all...
You have that power too.
This Christmas. Star Wars is coming back. It's coming back. Okay, yo, that trailer might be... I'm actually really in the mood to watch Star Wars now. I've actually just sold Star Wars to myself. So do you know what I mean? This Christmas, big emotion, get the things coming back. Don't worry if this film isn't any good, because we need to deep into that. We need to dig so deep into the nostalgia of our audience. We've got to go. We've got to go. Do you remember this? Do you remember these? Do you remember them? Do you remember that? seeing that happen really quickly is just weirdly off-putting. Seeing a few recreations of these kind of shots done, I don't like that kind of callback. It's not quite doing it for me. Dodge this. Only human. Dodge this. Mr. Smith. Mr. Smith is just like, Neo, I don't feel so good. Keanu Reeves just like, come on, Agent Smith, we can do it. Come on, old man, we got one more movie in us. Mr. Anderson, I don't feel so good, Mr. Anderson. So do you know what I mean? Like, how to put it? It looks like they are doing computer effects. It looks like computer effects are being used to make things happen instead of Neo literally being in a physical hallway that was in real time being blown to shreds with explosives on set in front of the camera. It's just, oh, look at that. Bright lights. It's just a bit, it's too jazzed up. It's too smoothed out. It's too smoothed up. What can we do? Look, we can do some in-camera effects. It's just like, is this a version of Trinity? Like, are they all living through different, like, there's 100 different Trinities and 100 different reoccurrences of reality, and they're all combining to one. There's 100 different Neos when he was looking in the mirror earlier from 100 different realities, and they've all slowly combined back into him. Is that why they both think they might be going crazy? Because they're realizing a manifestation of all of their previous lives, all of their dharma, reincarnated through all of the instances of the Matrix. So maybe all of the Matrix did happen. Maybe Morpheus did die of a butter overdose. Maybe Neo did sacrifice himself at the end of iteration number 9. Maybe this is iteration number 10. Maybe this is iteration number 100. They're all born again into another version of the Matrix set in the late 90s. Except this time, in the Matrix as older people, they've become aware of their past experiences.
After all these years, to be going back to where it all started. Back to the Matrix.
So long story short, I am fascinated. How to put it? Like, something like this, I can shelve my cynicism, because I do very much want to see what they do. Because I do have so much positive feeling for the first Matrix film. But I can't pretend that cynicism and that awareness of movie production and being able to spot these differences and being able to understand why this feels off isn't something that I can necessarily ignore that much. But I can still go and want to see this with a happy heart. So guys, yeah, what do you think? Interesting enough for Netflix, but not theaters. Hey, this is made for Netflix.
The concept of progress acts as a protective mechanism to shield us from the terrors of the future.
Yo, it does. So this, look at this, look. Do you know those effects? Do you know those guys, have you ever watched Buck Rogers? Buck Rogers has one of the most banging intro theme songs available. I haven't listened to that in a long time. Do you know safety explosions? When you've got on set in the 70s a safety explosion, it's this. It's lots of big sparks. This feels like a Michael Bay movie. Like, do you know how, like, is it Michael Bay or Michael Mann? It's Michael Bay, isn't it? Do you know how Michael Bay runs around with a hand cam? And it's all got this weird kind of like dark washed out but overly bright when it highlights. Like all the whites get crushed and everything else is really, really black. Michael Bay is the explosions. Oh, Michael Bay is the handheld one. Michael Mann is the explosion man. You know who I'm talking about. Who filmed, guys, what was the one where Tom Cruise goes in a taxi? Tom Cruise in a taxi. Collateral. Who did Collateral? 2004. Michael Mann. Okay, Michael Mann. So not Michael Bay. Michael Bay's the explosion one. Oh God, Michael Bay's the Transformers guy. I'm so sorry, society. I'd like to apologize to Michael Mann. So forget Michael Bay. This looks like a Michael Mann film. My name's Michael. This looks like that Michael Mann aesthetic. If he was doing a Matrix movie. Michael Bay movies are so so wet. Yeah, Collateral, Kid Ludens, Can of Coke. You know, this is a lost opportunity, Mikey. The fact that they could have used the fact that these actors are older and more mature. They could have had scenes where they required more emotion and character development, but instead, they went with the brief that everyone loved the Matrix for the flashy effects and decided more. Well, either we don't know that for a fact. And that's why I keep saying Logan all the time. And that's why I am interested. I love the idea of Neo and Trinity in their 40s or 50s meeting up. And still, like, Neo can still, like, you know, wave bullets. But they're less about that, and that the story is more about them as people. That would interest me. Like, you know, I'm getting older. I'm more interested in narratives about characters than I am about big explosions and fighting. Don't get me wrong, I love kung fu movies. But, like, if they really explore them as people, yeah, then I'm really interested. But absolutely, Eva, if they try purely to go back to kung fu, but with the different filming techniques and all this kind of vibe. Now this, I don't mind this. This almost feels like the Matrix because they're using those sound effects. Whoop, whoop. This bit feels, I know it's completely the wrong color palette. Like the color grading or timing is completely off. But like that feels a bit Matrixy. That feels like a fun Matrix thing, except it's shot a bit off. The angles are a bit off. The lighting, it's like they would have set the camera down in a stand and then rotated from the side of his character. But I guess this is more interesting.
After all these years, to be going back to...
Even if the Matrix did still happen and Neo never died and he just grew old, I even like the idea of that. I like the idea of Neo just being an older guy who's like, he's taken a step back. Like, I can imagine Neo being like the next Merovingian, who's like, he's uber powerful, but he just doesn't get involved in shit anymore because he's too old for this shit. We'll see. Which pill would you take, the red or the blue one? I'd take the mint flavored one. It's the same as a red, but in mint. Movies are supposed to have narratives? Is that why I didn't like Black Widow? I still haven't seen Black Widow. I still have no interest in it at all. Naru Michael. Yeah, Michael, hands up. The original Matrix was a lot more about them as well. Yeah, look, we're going to, come join my Discord. Twitch.tv/MikeyMegaMega. We're going to watch the original Matrix in Discord. Because that film... Bloody hell.
I overdosed on red pills 9 times.
Draxian. Draxian. That sounds deeply concerning. Draxian! Yo, again with those bitties. So, let's wrap up this video for the sake of YouTube. You lovely people on YouTube. Number one, have I gotten anything wrong? I often do. I do read your comments. Get yourself in the comment section below. Let me know what you think about this. Especially, like, if you didn't like the original Matrix films, does this look good? And if you love the original Matrix films, does this look bad? Super curious about that. All you lovely people on YouTube, I will see you next time. All you lovely people on Twitch, we're still vibing. So follow me on Twitch, links below. All right, peace.